All right, let's start you off in the Middle East, where Israel has intensified its ground assault in southern Gaza after a ceasefire ended with Hamas. Hundreds have been killed in the besieged strip. Over 16,200 have been killed in Gaza since the outbreak of this war. Much of the north of Gaza has been reduced to rubble. Over 1.9 million people have been displaced towards the south. Now the fighting has gripped the southern area as well. Israeli forces, with its tanks, bulldozers, and armored personnel carriers, have rolled into Khan Younis in southern Gaza.
בחלוף 60 ימים מפרוץ הלחימה, כוחותינו מחתרים את מרחב ח'אן יונס בדרום הרצועה. אנחנו ממשיכים במקביל להעמיק את ההישג גם בצפון הרצועה.
On Wednesday, the Israeli army released a video showing troops conducting ground operations in Gaza and its forces conducting airstrikes on Hamas targets. The Israeli army says it struck 250 targets in the Gaza Strip on Tuesday. Hospitals overflowing with war patients have complained of acute shortage of food, water, fuel, as well as medicine. The fighting is centered around the areas of Jabalia, Shujajia, and Khan Younis, considered the strongholds of Hamas.
لثمان أطفال هربت في وسط القصف من منطقة معن، جاءت إلى المأوى، وأثناء قصف المناطق المحيطة أصيبت بحالة تشنج وتوفت بسكتة دماغية، وتركت 8 أطفال والدهم غائب مشرد يبحث عن لقمة عيشهم.
Norwegian Refugee Council says the violence in Gaza now ranks amongst the worst assaults on any civilian population in our time and age. Panic, fear, and anxiety has gripped the southern region. People have been reportedly urged to move even further south. These in areas that is less than 1/3 of the Gaza Strip. With schools, refugee camps, hospitals being bombarded, United Nations humanitarian chief says that no place in Gaza is now safe. Israel has talked about creating safe zones, but the United Nations said it was impossible to create safe zones for civilians to flee inside Gaza.
The situation is getting worse by the hour. I mean, like, there's intensified bombing going on all around, including here in the southern areas, Khan Younis, and even in Rafah. Even what I've seen over the last couple of days, that we see an vastly increasing number of IDPs coming from the so-called middle area, and even now the southern areas towards furthermore to the south.
Violence has also been rising in the West Bank. Israeli troops raided a Farah refugee camp in the north early on Wednesday. 2 people were killed in the clashes, according to Palestinian authorities. More than 250 people have been killed in the West Bank since October. Israel has vowed to get the 138 hostages held by Hamas freed in the 7-day truce period. Hamas released over 80 hostages in exchange for 240 Palestinian prisoners. 25 other captives were also released. Israel says Hamas has been hiding those hostages in its vast tunnel networks beneath Gaza City. Media reports now say Israel is mulling a plan to flush out Hamas tunnels with seawater. The plan was last discussed with its ally United States last month. U.S. officials say the plan could cause water shortages in the region. The flooding process could take weeks, but Israel claims that it has identified over 800 tunnels, but the numbers could be much higher.